akijua hali ya familia yake, mama na watoto. Na pia usiku kuna jukumu la mwanaume. Na ni lazima, maana ni Mungu aliumba, sio sisi. Mungu aliumba Adamu akaona ni mwanaume, na sababu alitaka msaidizi, Mungu akampa msaidizi. Alimpa wasaidiane nini? Wasaidiane maisha, wasaidiane makao nyumbani, na wasaidiane vitu vingi ambazo ni ukiangalia kuna Mungu ndani. Maana kama wewe ni mwanaume na uwajibiki, kama mama ako na watoto na ushughuliki juu ya watoto, na mama akiuliza lazima, sababu hauwajibiki, lazima utatoa vita. Mimi nauliza serikali yetu ya kaunti ikishikana na vitengo vya usalama, akina mama wameingia kwenye shida kubwa sana. Na pia sisi kama viongozi, wakati ambapo tunaongea na wananchi wetu, na hasa mwanamume, hata katika Biblia ndio kichwa, alafu shingo ni mwanamke. Tuwaambie wanaume waajibike katika familia. Hiyo shida yote ni wanaume kataa kuwajibika, baadhi yao kataa kuwajibika. Kwa hivyo ni jambo ambalo linapaswa kuchukuliwa na uzito ili tuwaokoe akina mama. Asante.
Honorable Irene.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Irene Mbivya, specially elected by Jubilee. I'll diverge a bit because violence doesn't just happen on the side of men only. There are also violent women. And I'm not sure whether Machakos has been reported having cases of violence. But because of this pandemic, we know that stresses are building up every day because you've not been used to staying with this guy 24/7, but here he is. And maybe he's not been there to satisfy you in many ways, you know. But here he is, and you're wondering, dude, where have you been? Why are you coming now? You should go where you've been, you know. But the coronavirus has created many stresses, and mostly because most businesses have gone down, and we do not experience provision as it was before, and such stresses could cause violence at home between the wife and the husband. So, in case of a lockdown, for example, and having the luck that we are already in now, even as ourselves as honorable members, we do not have enough to cater for our own families because most of our finances has been cut down to cater for this pandemic. For example, if there's a lockdown today completely, and everyone is told to stay home, violence will initially increase because there won't be food at home, there is no money anymore, and this money is there, and the woman is wondering, you're just staring at me and you cannot provide. So we need to look for ways, in case of a lockdown today, how will this county cater for the families of Machakos? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Irene. Honorable Alex Kamitu.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm Alex Kamitu, MCA Talawad and leader of minority. Honorable Speaker, this statement by Honorable Mita is really appealing, and especially this time of coronavirus epidemic, in a sense that these happenings have been increased as per the statement because now most of the families are back. They are staying together in their homesteads. However, as good as it is, I really support this statement. However, Honorable Speaker, I've got some reservation that I have to make in regard to our structural leadership within the county government and the national government. And looking at it as MCA Kamitu, who is down in the ground, when we are talking about the law societies of Kenya, as an MCA in Talawad, there are very rare cases that I may meet these people. As me as an MCA in Talawad, for example, Honorable Speaker, if there is a violence-based violence in a certain homestead, most of the reports are made to the assistant chief. And that's why I said on the structural hierarchy of leadership within the national government, this statement by Honorable Maida is very valid. It is relevant to this house as leaders. But now for the purpose of the efficiency, the effectiveness of following what has happened in a certain area, in a certain homestead, I would say maybe we should collaborate with the national government, maybe through our MPs, because anything based on violence, it is reported to an assistant chief who falls under the national government in regard to arresting, in regard to reporting, in regard even to a follow-up, because the assistant chiefs knows their area better than an MCA. When we come to the county government, it is true we have got our village administrators, but they are not very effective in regard to enforcing the law of the land. So I was only making a statement that for us, as an assembly to be successful, we should also collaborate with our area MPs so that they can follow up these issues in their National Assembly, whereby if it is an area which is being affected by drugs, by violence against either children or whatever, they have all the abilities. They have got their kitties where they can build a police station or a police post. They have got that money. And in regard to adding or being given more enforcement officers, they can request that because when you build a police post, it means you need personnel. But I, as an MCA, you cannot effectively ask for any police post so that it may effectively affect the area in regard to patrollings, where, like, for example, in these regards, especially now, our school kids are around the homes. The bigger college students, the high school students, you are even hearing in our media that there are some areas that has been, there are some areas that have been identified, whereby our big going schools, children, they are going to buy some drugs in some certain areas. So it is within that collaboration of the assistant chiefs who can effectively do some patrols, and the like. Otherwise, it's a good motion, whereby we need some collaboration, as he says, with the national government. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Constance Mbula.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Constance Mbula, Special Elect by Untitled Chapter. I want to say the statement is in good time. However, this is not the first time these things are happening because of Corona. Things have been there, and what has been happening is most of the people want to do it the family way. I remember a case where a young man came home after 3 years in Nairobi, then before, and got drunk. He raped his own mother. And when we took him to a local police station, his mother followed the next day and said, just to wash out this shame from me, let us settle this at home. So the man came home, the police released him, they came home, and after 3 months, the man got drunk and hanged himself. We buried him like 2-3 months ago. And so these things, unless the government pushes, people do not know the effect. Because those ones who are doing this sexual abuse, other bad things, they are your relatives, they are people we know, they are our close neighbors, because nobody will come from Thika to Machakos to rape somebody, because those people know where you live, how you live, who you are with, and so they took advantage, because I think we are not outspoken, because you can see, like, police releases somebody, he goes and commits suicide, and that ends there. And next time, the old woman will be still raped. So we need to find something to do away with these cases. There are too many, in the whole country, not only in Machakos. No day passes without hearing such. If you look at today's papers, there's a man who killed his wife on Sunday because he came home this time of Corona, just this last Sunday, and he found the baby crying on a sofa and the wife was not around. And minutes the wife came in, he did not even want to know where she was. He just took a knife and knifed her to death. Now he's seen, but the wife is dead. So how do we deal with this kind of thing? It's us now as legislators to know what to do. To the chief, you may report to the chief, and the culprit goes there and gives the chief 500, 1,000, and that ends there. And if they ask, they are told this is a family matter. Just like they marry girls away in other places, very, very young girls. She's married off at 16 years, 10 years, and when you want to intervene, you are told this is a family matter. And now that family matter puts somebody into great danger for life. Because if you want a child of 10 years has become a wife, what is a mother? What is a mother? Because they're doing the same thing. This girl has no experience. She's just learning, and she's learning through a very, very wrong way. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to find something and a permanent thing to curb this kind of violence. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mueni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Benedette Mueni Muthoka, nominated by Wiper. Let us not ignore this statement because you know many men, they were staying at Nairobi and they were not coming at home. Even they are finding girls there which have 10 years and they have not seen and it's a child, it is child. So let us look for a way, as Mheshimiwa Mbula said, so that we can do the solving of the problem. The chiefs are given 1,200 and they releases the man. So by saying that we don't care about them is very unfair because the MCA is the one who is very, very close to the people down there at home. Let us look for a way of knowing the people who are staying well, because some, you might be seeing people coming from one house and they are sleeping in a different rooms because they have not been used to one another. Even the woman does not know what the man wants to eat. She might be cooking kidhiri, and they were not staying together. And the man is not buying the meat, which he used to buy to the slave queen. So I think it's very important for us to be knowing the differences between the houses which are around us. It's very important. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mueni. Honorable Jacinta Luka.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Majina ni Mheshimiwa Jacinta Luka. Nilikuwa nimeteuliwa na chama cha Wiper. Kwa kweli naunga mkono huo mjadala kwa vile ni mambo ambayo yamekuwa yakiendelea na hayaanzi wakati wa hii violence, ilianza kitambo. Maana ukiangalia kama watu wanateseka kwa wingi ni wale wanaishi na ulemavu, wanakuwa katika sehemu kubwa ya kuteseka kama ni wanawake. Maana unapata wengine wanashikwa na watu wa nyumbani, maana maybe mtu ako hapo na anakaa hapo na wale wanaishi na yeye pengine wameondoka na mtu wa nyumbani anaingia hapo tu anamshika, na ukifuatilia maneno ikifika kwa chief unakuta wanaenda huko maybe wako chini hawana pesa, na akiahidiwa kitu kidogo hiyo inaishia hapo na kesi inapelekwa nyumbani. Kuna moja ilikuwa pande za Misakwani, msichana alikuwa mlemavu, alikuwa atoki kwa nyumba na mtu akamshika, baadaye nikaulizia nikakuta kesi ilipelekwa nyumbani na ikaisha. Mwingine ilikuwa pande za Mwanyani. Kwa hivyo ni nyingi sana ambazo zimekuwa zikiendelea. Kwa hivyo kama kuna jambo inaweza fanywa ndio hiyo mambo isimame ama ikomeshwe, itakuwa ni vizuri sana. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, honorable members, for your contribution to that statement. I commit this statement now to the Committee on Justice and request them, as the Honorable Alex Kamitu has pointed out, the reason why I'm committing it there is because it is concerning coronavirus. Specifically, you have brought about gender violence, specifically brought about by coronavirus. I know there is a county committee level on coronavirus. In that committee level, we have the administration. We have the county commissioner there. We have the head of security. All the security chiefs of the county are in that committee. We have our county government executive leadership led by His Excellency the Governor. We have Madam Speaker in that committee. So I would be requesting that this committee of justice, as they take up this issue, take it up through that county committee on COVID and see and bring up the issues before that committee and be able to present a report back to this House on the response they are going to get from the committee, especially on the side of the national government in enforcement, within a period of 30 days. Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, you may proceed.
Order number 8, motion.
Honorable members, under this order number, we have one motion to be moved by the Honorable Francis Kalumu, the Chairperson, Labor, Public Service, and ICT Committee. Honorable Francis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a motion from Labor, Public Service, and ICT Committee on the issue of CCTV. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 185, Subarticle 3 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides that a county assembly, while respecting the principle of separation of powers, may exercise oversight over the county executive committee and any other county executive organs, recognizing that the Labor, Public Service, and ICT Committee is established pursuant to Standing Order 190, and the second schedule of the Standing Orders defines its mandate as follows. All matters relating to labor, trade unions, relations, manpower or human resource planning, information, communication, and technology. Appreciating that the Labor, Public Service, and ICT Committee, while undertaking its oversight role, engage the Chief Officer, Information, Communication, and Technology on the CCTV program in Machakos with an objective of ascertaining its current status and also establishing the viability of the project. Further, appreciating that the committee conducted fact-finding missions on the select installed CCTVs within the county. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that this Honorable House discusses and approves the Labor, Public Service, and ICT Committee on the closed-circuit television CCTVs program in Machakos County. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I call upon Honorable Alex Kamitu to second the motion.
Thank you. Honorable Alex Kamitu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Kamitu. Honorable Francis Kalumu, you may read the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is the report on closed-circuit television in Machakos County. Honorable Speaker, Article 185, Subarticle 3 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides that a county assembly, while respecting the principle of separation of powers, may exercise oversight over the county executive committee and any other executive organs. Further, Article 183, Subarticle 3 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 stipulates that the county executive committee members shall provide the county assembly with full and regular report on all matters relating to the county. Further, Further, Article 185.3 states that County Assembly, while respecting the principle of separation of power, may exercise oversight of the County Executive Committee on any other executive organs. Section 18 of the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act provides that a County Assembly or its committee may invite or summon any person to appear before it for purposes of giving evidence or providing any information, paper, book, record, or document in the possession or under the control of that person. And in this respect, a County Assembly and its committee shall have the same powers as High Court, as specified under Article 195 of the Constitution of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, based on the above provisions, the committee requested for information from the Chief Officer, Information, Communication and Technology on the current status of the CCTV's program. The committee further invited the Chief Officer to a committee meeting and discussed the Machakos County CCTV program with a view of ascertaining its efficiency and effectiveness. 1.2, mandate of the committee. Honorable Speaker, the Committee on Labor, Public Service and ICT was established pursuant to Standing Order 190 and the second schedule of the Standing Orders define its mandate as follows. All matters relating to labor, trade union relations, manpower or human resource planning, information, communication, and technology. Further, Honorable Speaker, Standing Order 190, Suborder 5, mandates sectoral committees to study the program and policy objectives of the departments and the effectiveness of the implementation. 2.0, committee composition. Honorable Speaker, the committee is comprised of 13 honorable members as listed below. Honorable Francis Kalumu, Chairperson. Honorable Agatha Mutunga, Vice Chairperson. Honorable Kamitu, Member. Honorable Christine Koki, Member. Honorable Constance Zioki, Member. Honorable Irene Mbivya, Member. Honorable Jacinta Luka, Member. Honorable Joshua Nzuki Muli, Member. Honorable Justus Katumo, Member. Honorable Nicholas Mutuku, Member. Honorable Paul Nyanzi, Member. Honorable Rosina Kanini, Member. Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, Member. Overview of the CCTV program. Honorable Speaker, closed circuit television CCTV, also known as video surveillance, is the use of video cameras to transmit a signal to a specific place on a limited set of monitors. The primary advantage is that CCTV acts as a crime deterrent. Potential criminals who see the camera may dissuade from following through their planned criminal activities for fear of being caught on tape. The county government of Machakos embarked on the CCTV's program in the year 2014 with an objective of deterring crime and ensuring that the safety of citizens of Machakos County, the investors, and their property. The CCTV were installed in major towns within the county and highways, government and public amenities during the time when the county in general was experiencing rampant terrorist attacks. Honorable Speaker, since inception, the program, since inception of the program, the CCTVs have helped resolve many criminal and road accident cases. The CCTVs have been installed, have been used for traffic management and crowd control during major events, including Sekafa International Football Games, Masuja Day celebration, etc. 4.0, submission by the Chief Officer, ICT. 4.01, Honorable Speaker, since inception of the program, the county government has managed to install a total of 360, out of which 160 are working. The table below highlights the location and status of each CCTV installed in the county. 1. CCTV project, Machakos Level 5 Hospital. Location, barrier entrance to MRI corridor, pharmacy laboratory maintenance corridor, ICU corridor, diabetes center, pharmacy waiting area, OPD, main gate, MCH, OPD corridor, emergency waiting bay, emergency gate, emergency area, emergency cash point, parking lot 2, administration. As you can see the other side, there is a number of cameras. There is a slot where you can get the number of cameras installed in the particular point. Remarks. Functional, need to stock maintenance materials including wireless radios, power adapters, circuit breakers, power cables, and network cables.
Honorable member, maybe just as a guideline, you could read the project, the number of CCTVs, the sub-county, the status, and then the remarks. Because once you mention 23, then you don't have to say the specific locations that they are. You jump this column of location.
Of location.
And number.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Go ahead.
Number 2, I start again. Machakos Level 5 Hospital. Working, functional, need to stock maintenance materials, including wireless radios, power adapters, circuit breakers, power cables, and networking cables. 2, Machakos Chumbi Highway. The number of cameras are 23. They are working. A few cameras are offline due to power challenges, short circuits, vandalism, and accidents. Camera pole knocked down. Maintenance, materials, and mobility is required. Number 3, Machakos People's Park, new systems. Working. The number of cameras are 16. Functional, stocking of maintenance, materials, and transport van required. Number 4, People's Park, again as 30, not working, cameras, system requires overhaul. Number 5, Kenyatta Stadium, not working. The number of cameras are 19. System requires a complete power overhaul. Stock of maintenance, materials, and transport van required. 6, Office of the Governor. There are 32 cameras. Functional, stocking of maintenance, materials, and transport van required. 7, Machakos Town, new systems. The number of cameras are 9. Cameras require power maintenance and reinstallation reinstallation. Removed cameras due to ongoing road repairs. Stocking of maintenance materials and a transport van required. 8, Machakos County Headquarters and Mavoko Sub-County Banking Halls. 15 cameras. They are working. Functional. Stocking of maintenance materials required. Number 9, Masi and Wamunyo towns. They have 18 cameras. Not working. Cameras are offline due to wear and tear, short circuits, and broken wireless radios. Maintenance, materials, and mobility is required. Number 10, Makutano, Mamwala, Kithimani Highway. I have 25 cameras. Not working. Cameras are offline due to short circuits and broken wireless radios. Fixing power challenges, maintenance, materials, and mobility is required. Number 11, Matu new system. They have 24 cameras based in Yatta sub-county. There's no comment. They are
I think
working.
the comment there is all working.
Not working, that is Matu new system. They have 24 cameras in Yatta sub-county and they are working. Matu, Kithioko and Kithimani towns, 17 cameras. The status not working, Matu. Comment is Kithimani and Kithioko affected by worn out cables and cable cuts, wireless radios require replacement. Transport is required for maintenance and support services. Machakos town, DU, have 48 cameras. That is in Machakos sub-county. Not working. Project affected by ongoing road expansion. Department plans to reroute the CCTV network to social hall control room when materials are available. 14, Mavoko new system. 8 cameras in Mavoko sub-county, not working. Cameras are offline due to wear and tear, relocation for Mombasa Highway, expansion, short circuits, and broken wireless radios. News must maintenance materials and transport van required. 15, Mavoko sub-county and quarter compound. As 11 cameras, Mavoko sub-county, working. System requires additional cameras to cover blind spots. 16, Mlolongo town has 20 cameras. In Mavoko sub-county, that are not working. Cameras are offline due to wear and tear, short circuits and broken wireless radios, maintenance, materials, and mobility is required. 17, Tala town has 14 cameras. In Matungulu sub-county, not working. Project affected by wear and tear, solar panels, short circuit, and broken wireless radios, maintenance, materials, electricity, power, drops mapped, new mast, and mobility required. 18, Joska Kangundo Highway has 5 cameras. In Matungulu, Kangundo sub-county, not working. Project affected by acts of vandalism, requires maintenance, materials, power drops, and transport. 19, Kangundo town, new system. 15 cameras, working. In Kangundo sub-county, wireless section at town offline requires power maintenance. Stocking of maintenance, materials, and fixing power storage is required. 411, challenges faced by the program. Honorable Speaker, the Chief Officer in Information, Communication, and Technology appeared before the committee and highlighted the below-mentioned challenges that negatively affected achievement and realization of the CCTV program in Machakos County. A, CCTV vandalism. The Chief Officer informed the committee that vandalism of the CCTV was agreed impediment to the effectiveness of the program. He cited several scenarios where the installed CCTVs had been vandalized. He further proposed having vandal-proof security cameras that are outfitted with metal housing to prevent the lens from becoming damaged when there is maltreatment of physical abuse. B, roads infrastructure. It was noted that the recent roads infrastructure had negatively affected the CCTV program in that communication masts that were erected on the roads reserved had to be removed and Also, the ground communication cables were cut during the excavation process. C, battery power backup. The chief officer informed the committee that once power blackout, the chief officer informed the committee that once power blackout occasioned, that CCTV would not be operational as battery power backup was not available. Having a battery backup for the surveillance system can help keep the monitoring system running during short-term power outages and provide much needed security at that specific time. D, lack of personnel. It was noted that the department did not have adequate personnel to effectively conduct routine maintenance of the CCTVs. Preventive maintenance is an essential part of ensuring continuous surveillance and helps to deter break-ins, thefts, and the overall security of the areas being monitored. Regular CCTV maintenance reduces the risk of system malfunction or failure to deter thefts. 5.0, committee observation and recommendation. Honorable Speaker, the committee conducted several site visits and held discussion with the chief officer, ICT, on the management of the CCTV program, and hence made the following observation. 1, that the objective of the CCTV program are key to the socio-economic development of the county. The program has an objective of deterring crime, hence providing a safe environment for investors. 2, the overall management of the program has not been expected in that it was initiated almost 6 years ago and has been funded consistently over the previous budget, but has not yet produced the optimum results as expected. 3, that several big towns, both peri-urban and urban, do not have CCTVs installed. 4, that some installed CCTVs in Machakos town and its environs are not working. Machakos town, being the county headquarters, should set precedents by ensuring that all its CCTVs are operational. 5, the committee observed that the CCTV program is faced with handles such as vandalism, inadequate personnel, lack of power, backup, and changing technology trends. Committee 5.1, committee recommendation. Honorable Speaker, the committee makes the following recommendation. 1, that the chief officer, ICT, should come up with a CCTV policy that will foster the efficient and effective management of the CCTV. The draft policy should then be forwarded to the county assembly for consideration and approval. 2, the Department of ICT should endeavor to ensure that all urban and peri-urban towns in the county are fitted with these surveillance cameras so as to foster security. Further, the department should ensure that all CCTVs are operational and have power backup. 3, the Department of Information, Communication and Technology should revamp the CCTV program with current technology in a bid to foster achievement of the set objectives. Technology changes by the day, and since the year 2014, the program was initiated. Since the year 2014, when the program was initiated, technological advances have been achieved. It is important to ensure that the CCTV program keeps up with current technological changes and advancements. Conclusion and acknowledgement. Honorable Speaker, the objective of the CCTV programs are key to the development of our county. Proper management of the program should be advocated by the two arms of the government and ensure that the program functions are required so as to foster achievement of the set objectives. Honorable Speaker, the committee is grateful to the Office of the Speaker and that of the Clerk of the County Assembly for the support accorded during these committee sittings. I wish to express my appreciation to the honorable members of the committee who sacrificed their time to participate in the committee activities and preparation of this report. Honorable Speaker, it is therefore my privilege and duty to, on behalf of the Labor, Public Service and ICT Committee to table this report on the floor of this Honorable House for consideration and approval. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Francis Kalumu. I now propose the question that this House discusses and approves the Labor, Public Service and ICT Committee report on the closed circuit television CCTV program in Machakos County. Honorable members, you may debate on this motion. Honorable Moses Mita.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity you have granted me. Mine is first to thank the committee and the leadership of Honorable Kalumu for the great job they have done. I must appreciate that when they were visiting Kangundo town, they invited me, and we went around the town, and we highlighted some of the challenges which have been captured here, Honorable Speaker. This initiative was indeed a good initiative because matters related to security cannot be underrated. Honorable Speaker, when we went to Kangundo, I would want to capture that because I had the opportunity at least to see how the system operates. You would tell whoever came up with that design actually had the idea now of avoiding issues of insecurity, both day and night, because the cameras have been installed in strategic areas. But Honorable Speaker, we seem to have lost on the way, something on the way, Honorable Speaker, because if I remember very well, a town like Kangundo, they have, it's designed to have 36 or 38 cameras, Mr. Speaker. And when you look at the report, less than 15 are working. So you ask yourself, what about the rest? Because they were not just being installed for the sake of installation. They were supposed to work. And indeed now, if the committee was to go back again to Kangundo, you would find like 4 are working. Well, I believe we have good projects. Let's put some budgets for servicing or else for improvements. Because installing is something different and operating or maintaining is something different. I would wish the committee would again visit the towns again and check on how these recommendations can be implemented, because, Mr. Speaker, it's not good to have invested so much funds on a project which is not giving us returns. We need to see results from these projects we are doing. And now that most of our towns have become municipality, that time Kangundo was not a municipality, Matungulu was not Tala was not a municipality. This is part of growth. We would want to go hand in hand with other developments which are being undertaken in our towns. So, Honorable Speaker, if the issue is funds, we can, through this assembly, we can avail funds. But again, we check on the worthiness of the projects, not just doing things. Let's see the impact. What are we getting out of the projects, Mr. Speaker? Because, like for my town, I know there is something which can be gotten if these CCTVs are well maintained. because we have had some cases, breakings, but when you go to the CCTV, where where there is the overall thing, the machine, the CCTV house.
Control room?
Control room. When you go to the control room, Mr. Speaker, you find whatever you are after, you cannot get because maybe that CCTV was not working. So it would be very wise. Again, something else I realized, Mr. Speaker, we need to connect them with the national police. I understood we are maintaining them as county, but issue to do with the security, I think Mheshimiwa Alex Kamitu is here. He has wealth of information on matters related to security. We need to involve the national police in operations of our CCTVs. Because even when we are following a case, again, you have to go to the police to come and review the scene, and then they start investigating. So from the onset, if we could involve them, and maybe train some officers from the national police to come and control the control rooms, or else to maintain the control rooms. Yes, the facility is ours as county government, but let the national police maintain the control rooms. I think it would even shorten time on matters related to investigation. So, Mr. Speaker, it's a worthy project, and I wish we would maybe uplift it in one way or another. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Fredrick Muthoka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Fred Muthoka, Mitaboni Ward. I thank the chairman for a good report. And this CCTV, we should use it even to enhance revenue collection in our county. We happen to pay a site visit to one of these quarry in Lukenya with our clerk Dominic and some members. And we found rollies there striking. So we asked them, what is the problem? They told us they have been told they should not operate at night. So when we called the Mavoko administrator, finance, something like that, he told us they are not realizing any money at night. So our question was, why? He was arguing these revenue clerks are collaborating with these rollies, they are not paying. But if you have a CCTV camera there, we will capture all the rollies which are getting into the quarries, which are moving out. So this issue of CCTV camera is very important in our security and enhancing our revenue. So I think Chairman, ICT, Chairman, Finance, we should collaborate and enhance this thing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Constance Mbula.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Constance Mbula, nominated by Maendeleo Chapter. Mr. Speaker, this is a very good project. It's only that, first I'm a member of this committee, and we've gone round all over, wherever there are these CCTVs, and we've seen how they work and how they have failed. Mr. Speaker, it's a very good project if it is well managed. But problem is, looks like there was no good planning or feasibility study, because the department put so many of them on way, and yet they could not afford to maintain them. And again, they didn't have qualified staff. The officers we went, we just found people who could just see it was working yesterday, today it's not working. And then as we moved on, we found this was a project not designed to do very well. I am sorry to say, but we need to revisit the subject, because to speak of the CCTVs, there is no better security than a CCTV anywhere, because you can rewind You watch what happened yesterday, the day before. If it's a thief, you'll be able to catch up with that thief. However, the way the department is running it now, it's like you take a child to Form 1, you pay for school fees for Form 1, Form 2, then Form 3, that child drops out. You have lost that child and lost the money you have spent. So this project is not giving us any value for what was spent. I must say, although there's a lot of financial difficulties, finance alone will not run it. We need qualified staff. We need somebody who knows what a CCTV is, what they are doing, and who can be there 24/7. Many places we went, we were finding no staff or one person who could not answer questions. I think and I hope the department had a good reason to put the CCTVs, but somewhere along the line, that interest got lost. And now we are calling on the department to do its best, or else those machines can be removed from there and do something else with that money. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
May the mover of the motion, Honorable Francis, respond, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to thank you for being available at this particular moment. But let me say this. You might not be aware of how good and how effective and how advantageous could be these CCTVs to our county. If at one particular time, Mr. Speaker, Machakos County is termed as the most safest county in Kenya, it will bring with it a lot of advantages. One of it being uplifting the economy of Machakos by investors coming to invest in our county. Staying in Machakos County, knowing that I'm in the most safest county in Kenya, will give you peace. Staying in Machakos, knowing that anyone who will dare attack me will be seen tomorrow in the TVs. We will know him. Mr. Speaker, that will be the most important issue. These cameras put criminals out of Machakos County. But question is, are we getting the value for money? If you go back to the year when these cameras were installed, you'll find that, Mr. Speaker, a lot of money was used. One time when we visited Machakos control room, we found nobody. In fact, we returned there several times without finding anybody to even open for us the control room. When at last the guy came, the person came who was manning the control room, he told us that he has not been able to even repair something very minimal costing like 1,000. And some of the time has been forced to use his own money to repair some cameras. Having a question, what has it happened with the money which is allocated for that function? So that tells you a lot. It tells you that all the money we allocate here for such purposes are not used for that purpose. If you look at the report, you find that, there is no personnel. Yet, there are so many employees of Machakos County who do not even go to work. And yet we need a lot of personnel to man these control rooms and to repair damages. Mr. Speaker, this house has powers. Again, I will say that. to stamp its authority and say, let money be used for whatever purposes it's used for and is allocated for. Because you have been giving 20 million every financial year, but that money is not used for that purpose. Mr. Speaker, I call upon this House to help my department at least achieve the most advantageous purpose of making Machakos County the most safe, and even to save our money, as Honorable Muthoka said. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Francis. I now put the question that this House discusses and approves the Labour, Public Service and ICT Committee report on the closed-circuit television CCTV's program in Machakos County. As many as of that opinion say ayes. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, you have adopted that report by the Labour, Public Service and ICT Committee. And I would like to say that the Committee on Implementation needs to pick up this issue and follow it up closely to find out the recommendations which have been made, put here by this committee, to ensure that they are implemented. Pick it up, run with it, because as honorable members have cited here, it will not only improve on our security if they are all working, but will also improve on things like revenue collection. Those are two very key things which can be assisted by the CCTVs. We talked about, the honorable member here talked about national police, Honorable Moses Mita, that this needs to be connected to national police. We cannot work in isolation. If we have installed CCTVs, let us connect them with the national police who have the expertise in manning and management of CCTVs. If you go a joint venture between ourselves, provision of the equipment, and them provision of the expertise, I can assure you they will be included as part of their security detail, where they will be able to have officers going and manning those areas and using those equipment as part of their security reporting system. So I think, Honorable Kamitu, you can be able to assist the Honorable Committee and the Honorable Implementation to see how we can work, the executive can work with the national government and have these two functions working together in as far as monitoring and implementation of this thing is concerned. Remember also Honorable Constance Mbula talked about sunk cost. What she was talking about was sunk cost. If you educate a student, a child up to Form 3 and they drop out, you have sunk that money there and you have gained nothing because the child did not finish Form 4. The same thing with the CCTVs. We have already invested in the equipment and the softwares. If we don't go the extra mile of making sure they are functioning and they are giving us security and they are giving us enhancement on revenue collection, then it will be a sunk cost, which I don't think anybody wants us to be in that position. So thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, you may proceed.
Order number 9.
Honorable members, under this order number, we have one motion to be moved by Honorable Alex Kamitu, Leader of Minority. Honorable Alex Kamitu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Once again, I'm Alex Kamitu, Leader of Minority in this Honorable House. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Standing Order number 24, sub 1, Order 24, sub 1 states that levels of spread and severity, and by the distressing levels of inaction. Aware that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, in his address of 15th March 2020 to the nation, directed that where possible, government offices, businesses, and companies be encouraged to allow employees to work from home, with the exception of employees working in the critical or essential services. Honorable Speaker, aware that as at 4th May 2020, Kenya had 465 confirmed cases with 167 recoveries and 24 deaths. Globally, at the same time, there were 3,510,000 infections with 1,130,000 recoveries and 247,000 deaths. Further aware that currently there is no known cure of the virus. Acknowledging that there is need for honorable members of this House to abide to the measures put by the government to combat the spread of coronavirus. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that the House resolves 1A, to adjourn plenary sittings indefinitely until the situation on spread of COVID-19 is put under control, and B, to hold special sittings convened under Standing Order number 26 to discuss urgent business of county importance. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You need to be seconded. You need to get a seconder for your motion.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I call upon Honorable Moses to second the motion.
Honorable Moses Mita.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Moses Mita. I second the motion by Honorable Alex Kamitu, Leader of Minority in this Honorable House. And he has given clear reasons as to why we would want to adjourn, Honorable Speaker. As you are aware, we are also in those ward committees. We are in sub-county committees. And it's saddening, actually, today, what we have gotten from the Health CC, the Health Cabinet Secretary, that, if I'm not wrong, we have 45 cases today. It's serious, and we need to engage an extra gear now, especially on the issues related to checking our people, the infected. We need to get to the population, Mr. Speaker, and our involvement now actually needs to be more in our ward levels than even in this assembly, Honorable Speaker. Because we can sit in this honorable house, discuss things, pass things, when our people are dying, so we would be doing zero work, Honorable Speaker. So it's on that note that I would want to support that motion. Let us be called in this honorable house when we have urgent, and when we have urgent matters to discuss, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
All right, honorable members, let us contribute to that motion. Honorable Francis Kalumu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to say also, I appreciate the motion from the minority leader, because we are also human beings and we also want to be protected from this COVID-19. We are also vulnerable like any other person in Kenya. And if there is prevention, one of the measures is this social distancing and not going to places of gathering. I think that is what we should follow, what the national government is saying, that we should not converge in places where we can endanger our our lives through condemnation, because every member here is a candidate to that. It's only that you need to protect yourself so that you not become a victim. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Jeremiah Munguti.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like also to applaud the member who is our minority leader for moving this motion into this House. Honorable Speaker, you'll bear with me witness that since this pandemic was announced by the CS Kagwe Mutai, we have lost several people. We are close to 26 people who have now lost their life. And I'm very much concerned, Mr. Speaker, when we keep on coming to the House, deliberating on issues, while our people there, it is very funny that majority of the people in the villages, in our wards, does not know the impact this pandemic can cause to them. Every moment you traverse to the ward, you will find a congregation of more than 20 people sitting together, and the majority of them are young boys, chewing mirror, smoking, and they are sharing cigarettes. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, my plea is that if we can be empowered as the representative of the people, so that we can go to our wards and do what we call civic education concerning this pandemic. It is the rights of Kenyans and every citizen of this nation to have a better health. And for doing this, it is a matter of us as members of the Assembly and as leaders of Machakos County that will be on the forefront so that we can educate our people on how to protect themselves. You will realize that, as it was earlier discussed there in the morning, Mr. Speaker, that our people don't have PPEs for protecting themselves. And it is through majority of the MCS and other well-wishers who are donating their own money so that we can get these PPEs. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, my request is that if we can adjourn until further notice, not unless something is of county importance, we can be called through a special sitting. Because when we are down there, when you meet people who are congregating, you can advise them. And also through the committees that we have from the sub-county, through the wards, and also in the sub-location level. But the problem is our people don't understand this thing, how it can cause them harm. Because when you talk to people, majority will tell you, I've never seen anyone sick in this area, but they don't know. As Honorable Mita puts it, today the CS has put it clearly that we have 45 cases which have been reported. And when you tally the number of people who have been infected now in this nation, we are over 500 within several weeks. And may I tell you, Mr. Speaker, that because majority of the counties now have started the rapid testing of COVID-19, we are going to get more people and more people. So it will be prudent for this House if we can move with speed within our wards so that we can educate our people how to avoid congregation in the villages. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I support and I'm requesting that if we can be empowered or facilitated, in other words, so that we can go and supply things to our people and some of the foodstuffs which are required also. There are vulnerable families which don't have food. We can also supply to them and also educate them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mueni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Benedette Mueni Museku, nominated by Wiper. I also support the motion that we stay at home and work from home, because we might be coming here and become sick, and we take the sickness to our people at home. So, as Mheshimiwa, who was on the floor, has said, we can help them to get something and go and teach their people there down how this disease is dangerous, because some small men, they don't know what they are doing. They are eating mikuka, taking the cigarettes 1, 2, and when they meet, you can see them putting the mic as if it's a rosary on the chest. And when they see the police, they put in. So the important thing is our MCS to go down, and every time, maybe a day, 10, they announce in the reduce how serious the sickness is. In Machakos, I don't know whether we announce. Even the governor announced when he's giving the food or not, I don't know. When it's like a joke, it's very important. We go down being serious and we tell our people how serious the sickness. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mueni. Any other member? There was some communication I'm awaiting from the office of the clerk. It is being typed. That is why I wanted to keep the debate. I do a communication. I've sent the secretarian to bring the communication before we close the House. So any other member would want to comment on this issue? Honorable Kamitu, you may comment.
Once again, Honorable Speaker, with your permission, I would also like to contribute in addition to the information that I've given to the House. I would only, Honorable Speaker, appeal. It is very important for us as honorable members, even through the media, we are able to educate our people through the media, more so on the government directives that were given, because they were very important. The directives that Honorable Speaker, my addition to the report that I've given to the House is that it is very important, us as honorable members, even through the media, we can also inform our electorate through the media, and more so to stress the importance of the government directives, because they're very essential. And as Honorable Moses has said, and the other honorable members, it is very true that as you walk, as you transfer across the sub-county, across your wards, there are some citizens, our own citizens, you find that they are ignorant, and I would say they're ignorant because since this epidemic was announced in the country or globally, people have been informed up to the village level that this thing is very serious. But it's sometimes, not sometimes, it's very funny that as you transfer wearing your mask, following the government directives, you sometimes go and meet some people, the electorate. Some of them, they are not even wearing masks. And it is very important because they are told, if you are going to any public place, you must maintain the social distance, you must wear your mask, and possibly if you go to a town where there are areas where there are some water cans provided for cleaning your hands. So what I'm trying to emphasize it is to my honorable members, as you walk across your wards, you should also, first of all, you should also have the necessary preventive essentials facilities so that you may not be a victim. And so my emphasis is that as we go out, let's emphasize the government directives that are very effective if they are going to be followed. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Rosina Kanini.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Rosina Kanini, nominated in by Wiper Party. Okay, I want to say this. Mr. Speaker, this pandemic is real. And if we don't move with speed, it's going to be a national disaster. What I've observed of late, the public has almost gone back to their normal businesses. If you walk around the town, you'll see border riders. They are carrying 2 passengers. They are not keeping distances. And they think it's just business as usual. So I think we need, the public needs proper sensitizations. And that's why we should adjourn, work from home, and do thorough sensitizations. This thing is real. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Constance Mbula.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Constance Mbula, nominated by Maendeleo Chapter. As you can see and read, the virus is there and it's deadly. It's only that we have not been hard hit like other places in Europe, elsewhere. But, Mr. Speaker, it's something we need to think about. We are going to work from homes. We are going to meet the people on the ground. And from here, we are told we go prepared, like we have the masks, we have sanitizers, we have water. But problem arises, not even from tomorrow, even from before. You appear into those electorates and you are ready. You have your mask, you have everything. But these people have nothing. And so they are looking at you like, Mheshimiwa umetuletea zetu. And so it's just a shame, like you're going to your nearest market, you are ready, and you have nothing to offer to them, and they don't have them. My request from the government of the assembly, can we have more to give to the electorate wherever we go? Or what we got here for 50 pieces, is that what we are supposed to supply to them also? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Constance. Honorable Joshua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Joshua Muli, MC and Alani. Mr. Speaker, as much as we would like to teach our people about this epidemic, we also face some challenges. There are those officers who actually should enforce the laws. Those are the policemen. Sometimes you meet them, and then when they arrest any of these culprits, like the border riders, they just get the money, some 300, 500, then let them go. So the seriousness of the matter is not known at the ground level. Again, that was last Sunday. I met with some pastors from my ward. And then they were discussing about the epidemic. They were saying that there is nothing like COVID-19. It's only that the government wanted some money from overseas. And that they should be allowed to go back to their churches and preach. Then I was trying to explain to them what is really happening and how people are dying overseas. I even gave them how people are dying in Italy and other countries. People are still ignorant. These are pastors, leaders of the churches, and they are so ignorant that they don't believe there's any sickness. They were again saying that since the epidemic was announced here, it's only 20, 25 people have passed away. So they were claiming that it's not important. It's not so serious as the people are saying. So we need some more time to go back to the electorate, down to the ground, and try to teach them how the serious. Yes, I was saying it's also important. We go back to our wards. We try to teach the people the seriousness of this disease. Because still up to this moment, people don't believe they don't understand, they don't accept that the sickness is so serious. So I support the motion that we go back, we interact with them, we tell them, we teach them the importance of whatever is being said by the government, so that we may be safe. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Before I put the question to that, let me read some communication which is coming from the Speaker. Let me just put the question first, because I think everybody has finalized on the motion. May I now put the question that this House approves that. Let me just get the paper. I now put the question that this House resolves to adjourn plenary sittings indefinitely or sine die until the situation on COVID-19 is put under control, and to hold special sittings convened under Standing Order number 26 to discuss urgent business of county importance. As many as of that opinion say ayes. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. So, honorable members, with that, we are saying that once we finish, we are going to adjourn the House and die because of the issues which have been raised by honorable members. But before I conclude, I want to read a statement from Honorable Madam Speaker. Good afternoon, honorable members. Apologies, honorable members, I was not able to join you in today's sitting for the reason that in the morning I was attending a video conference meeting of the Machakos County Corona Emergency Response Committee, which lasted from 10:15 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. I could also not join you in this afternoon sitting due to the requirement and the current health directives on the coronavirus disease for prior fumigation of any public sitting space. You know that the Speaker's seat and table had been occupied by the Honorable Deputy Speaker for the morning sitting, and the fumigation could not be done within the period the Assembly took a break from the morning sitting. Honorable members, this communication arises from the information that reached me after the Assembly adjourned from the morning sitting, information arising from a statement brought to the House in the morning sitting by the Honorable Mika Mutisonduma that members raised several issues concerning the Machakos County Corona Emergency Response Committee. Honorable members, I did communicate to you through the Assembly online channels the formation of that committee and the fact that its purpose is to lead the public in the county in the fight against the coronavirus disease. I also notified you of its composition, consisting of national and the county government representatives as follows: the governor, who is the chairman, the county commissioner, who is the co-chairman, the county speaker, the county clerk, the majority and minority leaders of the assembly, the chairman of the assembly health committee, the CECs, notably those for health, water, transport, agriculture, and other departments related to health, the county secretary, the county chief of staff, the officer in charge of NCPD, senior officers in the office of the county commissioner, senior officers from KURA, Kenya Urban Roads Authority, and senior officers from NTSA. And recently, members of parliament from the county have been incorporated into that committee. Among other officers from other national government offices, in short, the committee is in short a multi-agency committee, and its main purpose is to address the coronavirus disease in the county in liaison with the national government. Since its formation from around mid-March, the committee has addressed various issues, mainly on compliance by the public with the directives of the President and the Ministry of Health for stopping the spread of the coronavirus disease. The committee is decentralized to the sub-county, location, and ward levels, and in each level, The MCS, both elected and special elected, are members of that sub-county level committee. So the sub-county level committee members are as follows: members of the county assembly, county commissioner representative, sub-county administrator, the SEC, representatives of the relevant county departments, among other relevant officers. The committee at the ward level is comprised of the member of the county assembly, chiefs, sub-chiefs, ward administrator, among other relevant officers. The county commissioner is on record in the deliberations of the committee saying that the MCAs have been of great help or assistance in assisting our office in the sensitization of the public in their respective areas on the control of the disease, thanking them and asking for more involvement of them through the decentralized units of the committee. However, honorable members, I now have information arising from the deliberations of the morning sitting in the House that you have raised several issues over the operations of the committee and its decentralized units where you are members, notably that you are not being involved or are being sidelined in the operations of the decentralized units of the committee, that you need to be informed on the operations of the committee, and that you are seeking information of the budget for the fight against the coronavirus disease, including information on the Machakos Stadium Isolation Facility, which was set up recently. Honorable members, briefly stated, please note the following. 1, that as the people's representatives, you have a right to sit in and participate in the deliberations of the decentralized units of the committee, and if you are being denied that opportunity, it is very unfortunate, and I will take it up in the committee with the offices of the county commissioner and the governor. 2, the detailed formal communication on the deliberations of the committee should be coming from the clerk, who is a joint secretary to the committee. And if the same has not been happening, I will take up the matter with the clerk. In other words, what the Madam Speaker is saying that our assembly clerk has been a co-clerk to that committee, and therefore, whatever deliberations are done there, he needs to be disseminating the same through the secretariat to all honorable members for them to be able to get up to speed with what is happening. 3, the county is there to supply masks and sanitizers to the public, and this matter has been discussed severally in the committee. The information from the county executive is that procurement processes have been initiated, that some local manufacturing is being done, and further, that calls have been made for donations at both the county and the national government, as both the county and national government are short of funds, and when the same are available, they will be distributed to the public. However, a caution has been made that both the national government and the county government are not able to supply each member of the public with those items due to financial constraints, and that members of the public should take up the responsibility of providing themselves with the items, and only the most needy and the medical officers will be supplied with them. 4, the function of resource mobilization is purely the governor's office, and on the 4th of May 2020, some donations were received at the office, and details of them will be given to you by the clerk. 5, the assistance coming in is targeted at the most needy households, some of which have been identified through the decentralized units of the committee. It is expected that honorable members, you take part in the identification of the needy among your society, and Honorable Cosmas Masesi has been very vocal on this in the committee where he is our representative. On the stadium COVID-19 isolation facility, the particulars of the budget are with the office of the governor, and only that office can provide the same. Only to add that in the committee, the possibility of having an existing level 4 or 5 hospital upgraded for isolation was discussed, but has not yet been implemented. In other words, what the Madam Speaker is saying is that the possibility of, instead of setting up that isolation center, using those funds to upgrade another facility to a level 5 and put the equipment there, has been discussed by the committee, but has not yet been implemented. The county executive, though, through the committee, is drafting an emergency response legislation which will soon be brought to this Honorable House for approval. 8, the issue of the overall budget for the fight against the disease in the county has not been discussed in the committee, and as you are aware, the Assembly has not yet received the supplementary budget from the county treasury for passing, and if and when it comes, the Assembly will address it. Thank you very much, honorable members. Signed, Honorable Florence M. Wangangi, Speaker of the County Assembly of Machakos. So thank you very much, honorable members. That is the message from Madam Speaker, and I'm very sure it is also going to be shared widely on the other communication channels of the Assembly so that every member can be able to read and discern and digest the things the Honorable Speaker is talking about. With that, honorable members, the House stands adjourned, signed die. Thank you very much.